Welcome to part 2 of the prediction, but this time we talk about the DStv Prem. Starting tonight, Sundowns is obviously kicking off their defense. As they already posted on Twitter, they're kind of saying they already won it, but we'll see. We'll see at the end of the season. So we get into it again. Who's getting relegated? Who's getting top 4? Right? So starting with relegation, for me, I have 3 teams in mind. Swallows being one of them because I don't know, man. Swallows, something is not clicking. They're not signing the right players. They've lost those 2 guys to Kaizer Chiefs. I've just forgot their names now. They were just here. I know the other guy's nickname is Nyaupe, but we need to change that. Chiefs, please, let's think of another nickname for this guy. Makati. We can't call him Nyaupe. Come on. And then the other right wing, I forgot his name also now. But Swallows have lost players and they've not really replaced them. And then it's cheaper, Coach Clade, he's still very new. PSL made look easy, but it's not. We've seen seasoned coaches come and struggle. And then the third one is a bit of a shocker because they've signed so many players. But the coach they have struggled at Swallows, which is Amazulu. So I have those 3 teams that could potentially go down, but I definitely think it might be cheaper. And then Dylan Kerr might just work something out to, again, just be in that promotion spot where they could fight to come back. And then Amazulu might also be there at the bottom. So those are like the 3 teams that I think they will struggle this season. And then as we get into the top 4, it gets more interesting. At 4th, I'll have Cape Town City. I'm going to go very predictable on this. But I think Cape Town City will still maintain being one of those teams that are just trying to get into cap. So, but because they, the signings they have, I'm not sure if they could do any better to what they already have. They're not elevating the team. They've lost, is it Dove? I'm not sure because he's not South African. I don't know how you pronounce it per se. But they've lost a few players here and there, not too much for them to struggle. But they've not replaced, for them to elevate to the next level where they could be like, okay, cool, can we challenge Sundowns? That type of thing. So I think Cape Town City will be at my 4th place. And then 3rd, I'll give it to Pirates. Mainly because I've been seeing reports of how they're playing in preseason. Obviously, it's been like closed doors. I don't know why these teams are doing this whole closed doors thing, but it's been closed doors. And Evangal looks like he's hitting the ground running there at Pirates. And they already have Loch, Pule, Hoto, Lepasa. So they already have players who would probably work in the new system of the new coach. Because you've heard him talk, he's about tiki-taka, but also making sure that teams win. And when you look at the results from preseason, it looks like it is working because they are banging in goals. And that's like the most important thing when it comes to like winning games. You gotta bang in the goals, but also your defense. I think the one thing that Pirates is gonna struggle with is their defense. They've lost Shatrayo. Whether Pirates people believe he's good or not, he still had that experience. They've lost their captain, in Happy Jailer. So that leadership at the back is also gone. So now it's like, is Mayela up for the challenge? Pirates are a big team. It's a very big team. So because of their defense, I don't see them challenging Sundowns at this point, but I feel like they will improve in terms of their offensive play. So I have Pirates at my 3rd spot. And then for 2nd and 1st, 2nd I'll say Kaizer Chiefs. I think we've signed good signings. We do need probably a DM, a backup right back. Unless if Frostler goes to the right back and they leave Mapeliso, Hlanti, Mashiane all to challenge for that left spot. But if we can get a DM and another striker, I do feel like we'd be more balanced. We'll be very balanced in terms of challenging challenging Sundowns and taking them all the way to probably the last 2 weeks of the season. And also the break that you're gonna have because of the World Cup, it might just work out for us that we go out the first half and then the second half, we can just you could say be consistent, throughout. So I'd have Chiefs at number 2, and obviously I have still Sundowns at number 1 because I think they're just balanced, and the players that they're bringing in, that young stuff from South America, obviously you can't just base a player off YouTube, but however, when you do watch his highlights, you can see his movements, you can see how great he can be, to that team, and they're just gonna elevate, man. Sundowns is just gonna elevate, and at this point, it's just hard to be like, okay, Sundowns might fall, it might not. So those are my predictions, but I'm not alone. I am with Lumko. He's on the line. Brody, are you there?
Yeah. What's up?
Yes, sir. So let's get into the DStv Prem predictions.
Bring it back home.
Let's bring it back home.
Let's start with the guys that are definitely gonna go down.
Yes, sir.
That's a joke. Nothing is definite. But yeah, I think the teams that are gonna struggle, I'm just gonna mention the 2 because one is definitely gonna go down, then the other is playoff. Cheaper.
Yep.
I feel like their owner is their biggest problem. I'm sorry to say, because his hiring and firing regime is just beyond crazy. I think they've had a surplus of 11 managers in the last 3-4 seasons, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
So there's no consistency whatsoever. No time for ideas to grow, so Cheaper is definitely going to struggle. And then for me, this one hurts because these guys are from home, dog, from 035. But I don't think Richards Bay is gonna be able to cope with the demand of the PSL as yet.
Yeah.
Because they haven't made enough signings for me. Also, that is down to the fact that they don't really have a good financial backing in terms of the owners. So they don't really have money to spend. So they kind of have to sell first in order to generate money. So if they lose their key players, we saw last season they lost Mayo, who was a key player for them. If they continue losing their key players, DStv is very different from Canada Africa. So I do see them struggling. Hopefully they end up in the playoffs and they make it out. But those are my 2 bottom teams.
Yes, sir.
Then taking it to the top, like you said, it's a bit predictable, unfortunately. It's a bit predictable. The top 3, I'd like to agree with you in that sense. Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates. I think between Chiefs and Pirates, we're going to battle it out for the final CAF Champions League spot.
Yeah.
With Sundowns having a guaranteed one, because Sundowns are going to win the league for me again in terms of they just have too much quality at this point.
Yeah.
And the other 2 teams being Chiefs and Pirates, they have essentially new managers, which again, I'd like to state that ideas take time.
True.
No matter how good your ideas are, they take time.
Yeah.
So I don't think Atazwane will win the league in his first season. I don't think so. The Spanish coach from Pirates, the one thing he has against him is that he's new. He still has to learn the culture and the whole league in itself. So that's why I see Pirates not challenging.
Yeah.
Sundowns, without a doubt, man. I think they have like 4 teams that could challenge for the league if they decided to separate them into 4 teams. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's just too much quality at this point.
Yeah. Alright, bro. Thank you very much. But before you go, top goal scorer, is it still Kholimo?
Yes, with the bias input as well. I'd like to see pre-challenging, but I think Kholimo is the out-and-out favorite because he's trying to chase that Basuma record. He just narrowly missed out on it last season.
1 goal.
So you understand. So I think he's more than motivated now, and his team are gonna push him. Having people like running in behind you to always apply with those goals. I think Kholimo is the out-and-out favorite to win.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see people like the Green the mix, So I think for me, Kholimo and player of the season. in South Africa, it's like if you win the Golden Boot, you have an 80% chance of doing every play of the season. So,
true.
Yeah, so I think Shaolin, like, yeah, they gets the Golden Boot.
Alright, cool. I agree with you, man. Shaolile, I mean, now they have Mbule and Tebogo in the mix, so supply is just, it's a lot at Sundowns at this point. Like, it's just, it comes from all ends, you know. So I think Shaolile has what it takes to even probably reach 30. If he starts the season like how he ended it, I see him hitting that 30, and it'll be amazing for the DStv Prem. But if you're a supporter of any other team besides Sundowns, you're gonna be like, come on, guys, hey, back to back, come on, that's a lot now. But you know what can you do, man? You know, it is what it is at this point. We just hope that other teams, you know, they start to challenge, you know, and we hope that maybe sometime Sundowns will get dethroned. But that's it for our episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Tell us which DStv Prem team do you think is gonna get relegated, which team is gonna win the league. Maybe you think maybe Super Sports, you know, Gavin Hunt might just work magic and they win the league. You know, so let us know in the comment section. But from me, from Lumko, peace.